But there is another assistance called OBPAP, Ontario Bridging Program Participant, Ontario Bridging Program Assistance Program. Okay? So that is a one-time grant that you will be able to get, up to $5,000 at most. But then, there might be some bridging programs which cost much more than $5,000. In those cases, the maximum the government can provide, provided that you are in financial need. So when they look at your financial need, they don't necessarily look at what type of job you are doing. If you are earning well enough, whatever job you are doing, not only you, but your household, your spouse, or maybe an elder son who is, adult son who is working out there, who is living in the same house, they will be taking that into consideration as well. But that's one aspect. There are a few organizations which provide loans. These are called micro loans without a collateral. But they are looking at the promise in you of getting a job into the future and paying them back. Okay? They provide those three organizations that are listed, Win-Win Microlending, and then the two others which are federally funded called the Foreign Credential Recognition Programs, FCR, stands for Foreign Credential Recognition. There are two organizations called the Access Community Capital Fund and the Center for Education Training as well. They provide loans up to $15,000, similar to the OSAP, OSAP interest rate. For example, it might be 1.5 or 2% above the prime rate. Plus, they will also give you a grace period until after you finish the program, then you start paying the principal amount. But you may have to pay the interest rate right from the time, the first month that you pay. Then there are some commercial bank loans as well. I'm talking about this because initially I didn't know as well. I do come across people who come to me, come to my class, join my program, and I found, like just recently, one woman came from Nigeria saying, oh, she got a loan from Scotia Bank to join the bridging program. But she got it because she was already working. Right? The bank makes pretty sure that they are going to make the payment back as soon as possible. So they did get that line of credit to pay for the future. So that those would be also a possibility. Now, when you are seeking for a job, you may have heard about employment Ontario. Is from the P. Dufferin Catholic District School Board. You may have come across two of those locations. One is in St. Gabriel, one is called the St. Gabriel Adult Learning Center, Adult Education Center. And then the other one is called the Brian J. Penny Education Center. One is in Mississauga. Both of them are in Mississauga. One of them is in Montreal, and one of them is, I think, on the so you can avail of them there as well. Now, those programs take you through a certain period, like 7 to 8 weeks in class. Takes you through the resume building, cover letter, interview skills development, and all that. And they help you. The instructors will help you. So over the years, they have had some contacts with various organizations, various companies. You will be learning how to do some research on companies, and you can find out the companies where you would like to work. Type of work that they are offering there. You pick them up, and then you prepare sort of a sheet and give it to the instructor. The instructor will contact that employer and get you a voluntary replacement. Not necessarily the first one that you choose, but it may be 1, 2, 3, or even the 10th one that you come across. They may be able to do. For some of those who may be interested in internships, but the list here that I show you is, please remember, this is very, very competitive. It's not just for us, but for people coming from all over the world, and those who are here. One of them is called the Federal Internship Program of the federal government. There are internship programs in Ontario as well. I was trying to search one, which was called internship for internationally trained individuals. Things may have changed over the years, so I don't find it now on the website. I was desperately searching for it. But they do still have what they call the Ontario Internship Program with the Ontario Public Service. Ontario Public Service. So there, if you have not been out of the university over the last 5 years, or some say that they should be, like if you are a person who has just been about 2 years since you graduated from a university, or some cases up to 5 years, you may be able to apply here and get an internship opportunity, and that is not unpaid, that is paid. Okay. There are some some companies or organizations as well which provide that. There's one organization called CareerEdge.ca that is important for you to pursue what you call internship programs which are paid. They have connections with lots of organizations. They started with specifically financial institutions, the banks, but they have moved on to various other organizations which are hiring for, like, for example, like IT people as well. Now, in terms of looking for a job, finding a job, yes. First of all, you have to put your things together in terms of a resume, for example, or in terms of a curriculum detail, or master resume, whatever you call it. But then use it and put it at different places. Create your profiles, register yourself. Maybe in a public, say, general job bank as such. There might be other job banks. The first one I mentioned here is a government job bank. GC is actually standing for the Government of Canada. So everywhere you find in the URL, jobbank.gc.ca. GC stands for Government of Canada. So that Government of Canada is provided. The other private ones, Indeed.ca, Monster.ca. Another one that I've come across is what is a Magnet U+U.com. That is with the Ryerson University that they have created that. That job portal not only provides you to put your profile there, but they also match your profile with the employers who are posting their jobs there, and then you get alerts saying that there is a job available there now which matches your profile. So if you're interested, go and apply. So then there are many recruiters' websites. And you may have known that in Canada, it's not just that you go directly and apply for a job with an employer. There are recruiters who recruit job seekers.
Thank you so much again. And future of the destination go back to the detail so information job seeking somebody to carry consultant somebody जब भी वहाँ पे लिंक दियो आज यहाँ तो लिंक हमें एनआरएन को फेसबुक और वेबसाइट पर हमें अपडेट कराउँछ र यहाँले त्यहाँ पनि तान्न सक्नुहुन्छ अब आजको अर्को सेसन जोड्न चाहन्छु तपाईं हाम्रा बच्चाहरुलाई आफ्टर स्कुल प्रोग्राम ताइक्वान्डो सम्बन्धी कुनै पनि एक्टिभिटिजमा राख्नु छ भने उहाँले हेल्प गर्नुहुनेछ त्यसैगरी आजको कार्यक्रमको मिडिया कभरेज गर्ने हाम्रा गोपमा मानिसले क्यानाडाखबरलाई पनि विशेष धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु त्यसैगरी आजको कार्यक्रमको यो पुरै तयारी गर्ने हाम्रा एनआरएम क्यानाडा सेन्ट्रल रिजनका कोअर्डिनेटर राम सेतुजीलाई हाम्रो एनआरएम क्यानाडाको इन्टरनेट कार्यक्रम के कस्ता छन् भनेर र आजको कार्यक्रमको अलिकति उद्देश्यमाथि प्रकाश पार्नको लागि उहाँलाई स्टेजमा बोलाउँछु 2 मिनेटको लागि त्यसपछि हामी सोधेको बोल्न छौँ
आजको यस कार्यक्रमलाई निमन्त्रणा स्वीकार गरेर आउनुभएका गेस्ट स्पिकर्स डाक्टर प्रीतम श्रेष्ठ अनि श्वेता रेग्मीज्यू लगायत अन्य गेस्टहरू सबैभन्दा पहिला त आजको यस कार्यक्रमको निमन्त्रणालाई स्वीकार गरेर यहाँ सबै जो आउनुभएको छ तपाईहरुलाई एनआरएन क्यानाडा सेन्ट्रल हेल्प डेस्क कमिटी मेरो व्यक्तिगत तर्फबाट र सेन्ट्रल रिजन हेल्प डेस्क कमिटीको तर्फबाट म हार्दिक आभार प्रकट गर्न चाहन्छु स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु विशेष गरेर अब हाम्रो अलिकति महत्त्वपूर्ण समय पनि छ मैले धेरै समय केही पनि दिन चाहन्न र हाम्रो विशेष गरेर एनआरएन क्यानाडा एउटा हेल्प डेस्कले केही गर्नुपर्छ। हुन त विगतमा पनि थुप्रै कुराहरू भएका थिए, तर पनि केही एउटा नयाँ कार्यक्रमहरू गरौँ, केही नयाँ तरिकाबाट यसलाई अगाडि बढाउँ। खालि संस्था मात्रै भएर हुँदैन, संस्थामा धेरै साथीहरू इन्भल्भ भएर, प्रोफेसनल साथीहरू इन्भल्भ भएर कसरी हामीले हाम्रै साथीहरूलाई कसरी एउटा सर्भिस दिन सकिन्छ, त्यो तरिकाबाट त्यो उद्देश्यका साथ हामीले यो कार्यक्रमहरू आयोजना गरेका छौँ। र हामीसँग विशेष गरेर एनआरएन क्यानाडा सेन्ट्रल रिजन हेल्प डेस्कमा विशेष गरेर 40 कोअर्डिनेटर्स 40 डेपुटी कोअर्डिनेटर्स पनि हुनुहुन्छ। र त्यसमा हामीले आजको यो सेसन भनेको रेज्युमी र इम्प्लोइमेन्ट सम्बन्धी भयो भने त्यसरी बिस्तारै हामीले प्रत्येक महिनामा एउटा अथवा दुईटा गरेर हामीले थुप्रै किसिमका कोअर्डिनेटर्सलाई त्यहाँ इन्भल्भ गराएर हामीले त्यो कार्यक्रम गर्ने सोच बनाएका छौँ। र त्यसको लागि तपाईँहरू सबैले त्यसबाट बेनिफिट लिन सक्नुहुनेछ। र अन्य कुराहरू मैले धेरै कुराहरू यसमा भन्नुभन्दा पनि हामी मिलेर एउटा केही न केही राम्रो काम गरौँ, एउटा सभ्य एउटा समाजको निर्माण गरौँ। र हामीले हाम्रै साथीहरूबाट हामीले भनिन्छ न्यू कमर नयाँ आउने बित्तिकै हामीले जहिले पनि न्यू कमर सेन्टरमा जान्छौँ, इन्फर्मेसन लिन्छौँ, त्यो पनि हो। तर पनि हाम्रै नेपाली साथीहरू जो प्रोफेसनल छन्, जो एक्सपर्टहरू छन्, उहाँहरूबाट अझै धेरै थप कुरा लिन सकिन्छ भन्ने उद्देश्यले हामीले जुन यी कार्यक्रमको आयोजना गरेका छौँ। र त्यसबाट पनि तपाईँहरू सबैलाई धेरै कुराहरूको बारेमा जानकारी हुनेछ। र विशेष गरी आजको यस कार्यक्रमलाई निमन्त्रणालाई स्वीकार गरेर आउनुभएको डाक्टर प्रितम श्रेष्ठले भनिसक्नुभयो, थुप्रै कुराहरू अत्यन्तै महत्त्वपूर्ण कुराहरू राख्नुभयो। त्यस्तै श्वेता रेड्डीजी हुनुहुन्छ, जसले रेज्युमीको बारेमा सबैभन्दा पहिला हामी जबमा इन्टर गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि रेज्युमी कस्तो हुनुपर्छ, रेज्युमी हामीले एकदमै राम्रो रेज्युमी भएर पनि इन्टरभ्यूमा कल गर्ने चान्सहरू कतिको हुन्छ, के लिकेजहरू छन् त्यहाँ, के त्यस्ता हिडन फ्याक्टर्सहरू के छन्, त्यसको बारेमा उहाँले अलिकति हाइलाइट गर्नुहुनेछ। र टाइमको लागि अलिकति ढिला सुरु भयो र टाइम अलिकति छोटो भएको कारणले गर्दा मैले धेरै लामो समय लिन चाहन्न। र पुनः यहाँ आउनुभएका न्यू कमर्स, विभिन्न समाजमा विभिन्न संस्थामा आबद्ध सम्पूर्ण महानुभावहरूमा पुनः एकपटक एनआरएन क्यानाडा सेन्ट्रल रिजन हेल्प डेस्क कमिटीको तर्फबाट पुनः हार्दिक स्वागत गर्दै मेरो एउटा छोटो वक्तव्य यही पुरा गर्छु। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद हाम्रो कोअर्डिनेटर रामचन्द्रजी। उहाँले भने जस्तै हाम्रा विभिन्न कार्यक्रमहरू छन्, 30-35वटा हामीले कोअर्डिनेटर भएका छौँ, विभिन्न सेक्टरमा यो एउटा पार्ट हो। त्यस्तै गरी हाम्रा महिनै पछि अथवा महिनामा 2टा प्रोग्रामहरू फरक फरक विषयमा यसरी नै प्रस्तुत हुनेछ। यहाँको सहयोग सभा सधैँ हामीले अपेक्षा गरिरहेका छौँ। एउटा मेन्सन गर्न खोजिरहेको छु, हाम्रो एनआरएन आइसिसीको लागि अनररी मेम्बर चन्द्र राईलाई मैले मेन्सन गर्न बिर्सेको हुनाले उहाँलाई पहिलो प्रथम त बधाई र कार्यकालको लागि शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु। र आजको कार्यक्रमका चाहिँ स्पोन्सर दिनेश खतवटाजीलाई पनि विशेष धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। र आजको मेन सेसनमा हामी प्रवेश गर्दैछौँ। थ्याङ्क यू श्वेताजी, सबै आउनुभएको छ। प्रभुजी थ्याङ्क यू सो मच। कति घन्टा 4 घन्टा प्लसको ड्राइभ गरेर यो कार्यक्रम +2 आवर त्यो उहाँदेखि आउनुभएको छ। त्यो महत्त्वपूर्ण समयसँग महत्त्वपूर्ण यो सेसनमा हामी प्रवेश गर्दैछौँ। पृष्ठभूमि लामो नमानिकन उहाँलाई श्वेताजीलाई स्टेजमा आमन्त्रण गर्न चाहन्छु। थ्याङ्क यू।
So I was employer before. I worked with a major bank before, ING Direct and Tangerine, and which is now owned by Scotiabank. So I work with TD as well, and I work with the nonprofit and YMCA as a job developer as well, right? So I know each and everything when it comes to a resume. But then what happened was a couple of years ago when I was working at the bank, I got laid off. And then I was a job seeker as well. So I do feel your pain if you're looking for a job. And that's when I thought, okay, well, you know what? Was I a good manager? Like hiring manager? Because I completely overlooked when I was a hiring manager. I used to get that resume filter to HR, and I did the phone screening and stuff like that. Then I had no clue how those resumes landed on my table. And then I decided, okay, you know what, no wonder when I was a job seeker later, no wonder I was not getting interview as a job seeker because I was not doing it right way. I was not pleasing the machine. Mulai, hiring manager to the world right now, I knew everything about it. I had no problem with the interview. I pretty much had everything on my pocket, but I struggled a lot as a job seeker. Then what happened was I decided this is it. I'm going to work on this. I developed the framework, right? Which was like job search strategy. So I wrote my resume and I figured it out. I hired a consultant. I took so many classes. And I invested in myself, and I knew that's when I figured it out. So when I started writing my own resume, then I got lots of offer. I negotiated it. I knew I cracked it all. So I did a lot of networking. Then I started getting job offer, and left and right, I negotiated on it. So I was like, you know what, this is it. I can give back to the community now, right? And that's when I decided Teach and Do was founded, right? And then I wanted to teach you guys. I was teaching immigrant community and my colleagues, whoever knew me, as a hiring manager anyway, but for free. Now I charge for my time. So what happens is, whenever you guys come to me from referral, whatever it is, I try to do whatever I can to save you that cost. As long as I can refer you to those free services like pre-entry site. There are so many services that you can go and Google it or YouTube it, whatever it is, right? You can do that, but as soon as you want me to review your portfolio, you want me to review your resume or anything like that, then that's my time. So I charge you on that. So I'm a consultant now, full-time consultant. I resigned from my role, from the leadership role, and I started my own company because I do wanted to give it back to the community. So what I thought was, I was a hiring manager for so many years, but when I slept, I did not think that I was helping any people. I was just bringing billions of money to the bank, right? But when I actually do that for people like you, whoever are looking for a job, and I help you out, when someone comes back to me and says, Swara, because of your resume, because of your interview coaching, and LinkedIn profile review, you know what, I got a job, guess what happens? It's like, wow. Because of me, someone actually landed their dream job, right? And that's what I wanted to do for future as well. So let's talk about, why is it so hard to get the job in Canada? And I hear you, but I have a question for you right now. How many people are looking for a job right now actively? Right? Show me your hand. Anyone looking for a job? Like, has it been 1 year? Show me your hand. 1 year? 2 years? 3 years? 5 years? That's a lot, right? Like, who are the newcomers here? Just recently, how long?
1 month.
1 month. What's your name?
Sumna Shrestha.
Sumna Shrestha. So 1 month, eh? Yeah. So, and what about yourself?
Vijay Bada.
Okay, and how long it's been?
1 month.
1 month? Okay, well, you're certainly in the right place today because these are the session I don't do the group session from my company. I customize it. My thing is I don't do the recorded sessions. I actually work with the people individual. And this is a session, I charge for this. And you guys are getting this for free today. And trust me, you're going to have to write the notes. I don't care. Do it because this is something people are going to charge you. And this is something that no one's going to tell you. Even if you go to Access Employment Services, free services, because you know what, they're not trained. I've worked with a nonprofit. What happens when you're working with them, they're not the subject matter expert. They have never done the interview with people. They've never hired people. They've never written the resume. They have a template. They will send it to you. And those people, the clients who are using their services, they come back to you because it's not working for them, right? I get questions from people saying that, why would I come and pay you when I can get a free service? It's completely valid, right? But I work with the people. Are you willing to get the job right away when you land it? But you have to do the work, right? It's not that I do the resume for you and you're done. No, I will stretch you out, right? But Access Employment, I've worked, I am on the side, I volunteer with them as well, and I've worked with the YMCA as well. Guess what? There's a funding that government actually gives you, and they must carry on with the resume writing workshop, but they're not trained. People have no clue how to write the resume. And I'm not bashing them, I work for them, and you know what? They're not subject matter experts. So go for it. If you know everything about resume, it's good for you. But if you have no clue about it, it's going to be tough for you. Okay? So now, let me ask you, those people who just came from Nepal, do you guys have resume right now?
Yes.
Do you have objective statement on the resume?
Yes.
Okay. Who else? Tell me anyone right now who, if you were to apply for a new job, who is going to put the objective statement on top? Show me your hand. You too? You have a job. so objective statement. So about their accomplishment on a resume. And you guys are not the one. Don't feel bad. Don't feel that, oh my God, I just landed, I have no idea. No, I work with the Canadian people. They are CEOs and VPs in the executive level. They have no clue how to sell in the paper. And I teach them. And I don't want you guys to think about it, I suck. You don't. You just need the direction. You guys got it? So these are the one, when you look at it, go through the list. If you look at the list, if you're putting that on your resume right now, that needs to be tossed away ASAP. Okay, ASAP, what does that mean?
As soon as possible.
Bang on. You know why I'm telling you that? Employers are rejecting you guys because you do not know Canadian lingo. Start learning it. When you're rejected based on Canadian experience, it's not about paper, it's about knowing the culture, how do you talk in interview, and do you know the lingo? Do you guys know toonies and loonies? Yeah? Recently landed, toonies and loonies? Google it. That's a Canadian lingo. You guys have to know the Canadian culture. When you guys are bashing the Canadian experience as an employer, I used to manage, right? My team of people, I loved immigrants. I used to hire people. But then you know what? I used to hire based on the resume, but still, when you sit down and talk, you can pick it. If they know the Canadian culture, you can pick it. And that's exactly the reason you guys are not getting hired, because you're not, I'll be very honest. Nepali ho, Nepali ka janchu, party garchu, khanchu harchu, haina? How many times you talk about profession, jobs?
Politics.
Exactly. How many times you sit down and say, let me help you? मैले 20 जना नेपालीलाई रेफर गरेको छु। म हायरिङ हुँदाखेरि 10 जनाले काम पाछन्। म बसेको कम्पनीमा अहिले काम गरिरहेको छु मान्छे हो। That's what you're gonna do. If you have a title, use it, guys. Why? Title छ भने you're there for a reason. मान्छेहरु यहाँ नेपालीहरुले छन् के भन्छन् भने म काम गरेको ठाउँमा you know what मलाई अरूलाई ल्याउनु मन छैन। मलाई ल्याउनु मन छैन सिधै that's not a good attitude. So we got to help each other out, right? So from now on, when you go to parties, that's your networking events. Don't talk about politics. You're going to talk about how you can help me. Do you have any information? Pritamji gave so many informations. You know what? I hope you guys walked away with it. I hope you wrote down the notes, because those are the information that people come to me for. I guide them. And he had a very good information there. Walk away, guys, because you need that. So, I'm not going to go through everything, but if you see it, objective statement needs to be gone, nothing. And personal information, nothing at all. You should be putting it there. Email, guys. Do you guys still have professional email? What do you think is unprofessional email? Facebook. Email, you have to put the email on topic, right? Sometimes, as a hiring manager, I used to see the email sweetie@hotmail.com. Yikes, right? So the best email that I recommend my client to use would be Gmail one. Best email, not even Hotmail. Yeah, try doing that. And my suggestion would be, always, if you're in the market, what works for my client, what worked for me as well, is have a separate email. You can only use it per job, and alert as well, right? Like he said, it's easier to track it because it's overwhelming. Job search is the process. You can't expect that you plant the seed today and tomorrow the tree's gonna be right there. Now it's a process, you gotta keep on trying it, right? So you need to make sure that you have a separate email so you can keep track on it, and job alert as well comes to that email so you know that this is strictly for jobs. So do you guys have on a resume right now, do you guys have, I'm a result-oriented, hard-working person? Yes? How many? I don't care, guess what? I don't care. As a manager, I don't care. Prove me. Give me the number. As a hiring manager, I can boast that, you know what, I am a result-oriented person, I'm hardworking, I'm punctual. Do I care about that? No. What I care about is, how can you help me? Okay, you're result-oriented, and we're going to see the example, give me the numbers. What did you do? How did you save the cost? Right? I need numbers. I don't care, hardworking or not, because you're going to have to work hard. If not, then I'm going to fire you, right? As an employer. But talk that out. Enough of that, I'm a result-oriented person, I'm a hardworking person. Let's just toss that away. Let's put some material on it, right? So, GPA, meaning, I've seen it, even I see people from India, they put all oh, I'm a gold medalist. I'm I don't give a shit, sorry. I don't give a shit. Because you know what, your gold medalist, that's perfect, but you know what? It's not going to help me, right? I want to know what did you do as a student, what kind of project you did, or stuff like that, right? How did you handle the teamwork, stuff like that. So toss that GPA out unless you actually did something here, you went to college here, and you're a recent graduate, it could potentially help you. But when I hire student guys, I never ask for certificate at all. That was not a requirement. I've never asked. And I know in some profession maybe they will ask you for everything, right? But I've hired thousands of people as a hiring manager. I've never had to ask for certificate. Experience, those are the other sections that you want to put all the keyword, and it's all fully based on job descriptions. And that, if, let's say, as a resume writer, I am making a resume, guess what's going to happen? You still have to customize it. Anytime you're going to apply for it, I'm going to teach you how you do it. You have a template and core things, and I'm going to teach you, but I'm expecting you to customize it. You need to know how to do it. And last thing I tell my clients as well is, I don't want you to come back to me. I want you to fish. Walk away for your lifetime and know how to write it. In any job you want to apply, know the framework, and you're good with it. How many of you are just applying with the same resume here? I know you guys are all doing it. Just show me a minute. I did it too. I was too lazy. You know, a good resume, how long it takes? 2 to 3 hours. Try it. If you really want that job, 2 to 3 hours. If it's taking less than that, you're not doing it the right way. Trust me. I've been there. I was too lazy. I clicked on apply, LinkedIn, and everything. Did I get that interview? No, because I was too lazy, right? You gotta work hard for it. So, education, certifications. Now, for you, for example, is, one of the PMP would be the requirement, right? Don't lose that. Put it in there on educations as well and certification as well. So anytime, let's say if you're working in the banking industry and you're dealing with the AML, which is anti-money laundering, chances are you need some courses, to highlight CAMs or something like that, right? So that's a requirement. Don't lose that. And put all the certifications you've done related to that job only. I do see a lot of immigrants, they come in and they have so many certifications, you want to put everything in there and I have to take it out. And you know what? I don't blame you guys because you think more. I want to show them more. No, less is more. Stick to what you have. So technical skills. One of the examples that I look at when it comes to technical skills is, okay, before I do that, how many of you guys still have Microsoft Office, Word, Excel on the resume right now? Yeah, guys, it's no brainer. Ditch it, I'll tell you what, unless job description requires it, you're going to score it on ATS, and you put it on technical skills, right? So you don't want to put, and then just the way exactly I'm going to show you how, but just put stuff that it's on a job description. There's no point that resume is more than 2 pages or something like that. So what are the optional things you think? Languages? I mean, Canada is like English and French, unless you know the French, put it in there, but I don't recommend my client to do it unless, let's say they're applying for a role that requires to speak in Spanish or something like that, then absolutely. There are companies, TD, companies and interest guys, do you think it's optional, but what do you think? Is it worth it to add? Unless, United Way, let's say if you're applying for banking or something, if they're actually in the market, in a community, they're doing that, United Way or some Red Cross program, whatever it is, and if you feel like you are one of those two, you volunteer with them, and it doesn't hurt to ask, because as a hiring manager, I can see that whenever there's a volunteer requirement, anything like that, I can depend on that person. But again, it has nothing to do with ATS though. It's totally up to you. It's to please the human eye later on. And website and everything, it's completely up to you, but it has to be relevant, right? That's an example of how you write the resume. I'm not going to go through each and everything, but those are clear examples. That's called accomplishment stories. It tells you the stories. Don't tell me you're result-oriented. Prove me and show me, right? See the first one? Right there. stories, right? And interview. And don't put everything in the interview, like on the resume. Don't write the story because what's the point if you get a call for interview, right? And if I want to know, I'm going to say, oh, tell me in the interview. So tell me, how did you do it? How did you manage to do it? That's when you tell the stories. Resume is all about a hook. You're telling the manager, I'm so good, you want to call me. You want to know what I did, how I did it. That's all it is. If you write, I did this, you just gave him a story and there's not much for him to talk about it, right? Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. Any questions for me? So do you guys get the point of resume writing here? Is it something that you're hoping for? Are you close enough when you're writing your resume? I want you to reflect it back to your resume right now. Is it what it is that you have right now? Is it what you see? Yeah, that's good. You're in good line. Yeah, you're good. You can go to moose.com, musc.com to get the resume, the verbs. And what I want to tell you is avoid repeating the same kind of action verb on the resume, like, reduce degree, you know what I mean? So try to, there's resume verb for everything, so try to play it around the word, play it around. And guys, when you Google it, you can find those informations in that in particular.
हाम्रो सानो रिक्वेस्टलाई भोलिन्टियर हो यो सबै हामी पे गर्न सक्दैन मलाई सुरुमा भनेको किनभने हाम्रो भोलिन्टियर संस्था भएको हुनाले उहाँले अब फ्रीली हाम्रो कृतज्ञजी सबै भोलिन्टियर छ त्यस कारणले उहाँलाई विशेष धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु कार्यक्रम हाम्रो कुनै छोटो छ सकिसकेको छ र पनि दुईवटा नानी सँगसँगै म गरिहाल्छु यसपछिको कार्यक्रम एकजना हाम्रै नेपाली कम्युनिटीको एकजना सिडीको स्वर्गमा भएको छ उहाँको त्यसको लागि हामी जाँदैछौँ तपाईँहरू पनि जान रेडी हुनुहुन्छ भने अप्रिल 29मा एनसिएनसीले र Canadakhabar.com ले पनि 1 घण्टाको हारारीको क्लिप बनाएको छ त्यो वेबसाइटमा हेरेर हुने कार्यक्रमको बारेमा डिटेलमा थाहा पाउनुहुनेछ गोकर्णजीलाई थ्याङ्क यू भेनु सो मच उहाँ पनि एज मिडिया पर्सनको रूपमा आइदिनु हुनेछ र अर्को कुरा चाहिँ कार्यक्रमका सबै मेम्बरहरूले हामीले लास्ट हप्ता मात्रै अलिकति काम गरेर सबै मेम्बरहरूलाई हामीले इमेल पठाउन सक्षम भएका छौँ अबदेखि जो मेम्बर हुनुभएको छ फर इक्जाम्पल ग्राउन्डमा 680 जना जति हुन्छ उहाँहरू सबै इमेल पाउन नभएको छ मिसाका सबै सिटीमा
of our ICC members, NCC members, including our spokesperson Khabar. He has been working throughout this project and he's doing live right now through Facebook. And our youth coordinator our NCC member Vintavishi from Waterloo region, all of our advisors and help desk advisors, and from the Central Region Help Desk, and our Central Region Help Desk coordinator Ram Chetri. And I would like to thank him very much for organizing this event and working very hard throughout all this event. And I would like to thank all the media persons, including Namaste Radio team, Anil Thapaji and Vinayji, and Canadakhabar.com, Gokarna Ramishanaji, and Bendupji, imkhabar.com, Raju Thapa, and Everest Taekwondo for providing this venue as a venue partner for Help Desk Central Region ongoing, and all the community members who share this event on social media to make it a grand success, and our guest speaker, CEO and founder of Kisendo, Sweta Regmi, for traveling all the way from Sadri. We already know that it's like almost 6 hours, and still she's here with us, like she's here, her experiences, and we hope we got benefited from those, and we'd like to bring this kind of program in the future as well. And I'd like to thank our program coordinator from Humber College, Pritam Shrestha, sir, Dr. Pritam Shrestha, for sharing his experiences, especially to those who are new to the country and who are struggling hard to find their dream job. So, of course, the Canada is a dream land, but like when we are pretty new to the country, we have so many differences, including our culture, of course we are expert in our profession, but however, when you are new to the country, there are so many cultural differences, and we have to get advice from the experts to excel in our profession. So I would always suggest to get advice from the expert. Doesn't matter, it might cost you a few penny, a few bucks. But we spend our money going to Tim Hortons and here and there. But I would always suggest if you have a problem, always read the expert. So, and I would like to thank you, everyone who are present in this program today. And as I said, we'd like to hear from you for the upcoming program, what kind of program we can bring. Mostly we are focusing on the community-oriented program. We have so many issues in our community, but sometimes we do not share it, and we do not go to the expert, and sometimes we do some kinds of because we came from Nepal and we think it's not as in our country back home. So I'd like to share a small thing last couple of weeks ago. So there was issues with landlord and tenant. And instead of seeking advice from the expert, sometimes we overreact and make the thing worse. So our next event could be the program events related to the landlord and tenant. So we'd like to hear from you what are the issues you are facing in day-to-day life, and then we'd like to focus on those kinds of events so that community is directly benefited, rather than wasting your time. Because time is precious in Canada, time is money. Our Shwetaji and Pritamji, they are the expert in their field. However, we have used their time, and we are very thankful to them for providing this knowledge and sharing their experiences for free of cost. And at the end, thank you very much for coming here and making this program a grand success. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's give them a